This is a massive maze that can rearrange itself at any time. Everyone trapped inside has been there for 3 years, and no one has ever found a way out. Every evening, the stone doors slam shut, and they don't open again until the next morning. No one has ever survived a night inside, because once those doors close, the creatures come out and take over. So Thomas and Minho had no choice but to carry their injured friend and try to find somewhere to hide. Then a blood-curdling shriek echoed in the distance. The sky was getting darker by the second. Thomas spotted some vines nearby and got an idea. They used them to hoist Albie up off the ground and keep him suspended in the air. Suddenly, the walls started shaking. A massive shadow appeared not far away. Minho completely lost it. He dropped everything and ran, leaving Thomas behind with no other options. Thomas squeezed himself into the vines and stayed as still as he could. After what felt like forever, the creature finally moved on. He quickly made sure Albie was tied up tight so he wouldn't fall, but the moment he stepped back out, a glob of disgusting slime dropped right onto his shoulder. What he saw next sent him running in a full panic, but he didn't know the layout, and he ran straight into a dead end. Thinking fast, he used the rocks on the ground as footholds, grabbed onto the vines on the stone wall, and started climbing as fast as he could. Thomas used the vines to trap the creature just long enough, and Minho, who heard the commotion, came back. Using his knowledge of the maze, he led Thomas through the corridors. His plan was to use the closing stone walls to shake the creature off their trail. Minho made it through just in time, but Thomas suddenly stopped.
What are you waiting for? Get out of there! Come on! Come on, Thomas, don't look back! Run! Move it, Thomas, come on! Yes! We need to go! Come on! Come on, we need to go!
The next morning, the massive stone doors opened again, but the corridor was completely empty. Everyone assumed they were dead. Then just as people were giving up and walking away, Thomas and Minho appeared out of nowhere, and they brought their injured friend back with them. Everyone was stunned, because since the day they were sent here, not a single person had ever made it through a night in the maze. But Thomas didn't just survive. He actually killed one of the creatures. For the first time, people started to feel something they hadn't felt in a long time: hope. But Gally was furious. He felt like for 3 years, they had managed to coexist with the creatures outside. Sure, they never found a way out, but they built a camp. They could grow food and take care of themselves. Now Thomas had gone and killed one of those things and thrown everything off balance. And there wasn't just one creature out there. Nobody knew what would happen next. Would they come looking for revenge? Thomas had to be punished. Minho stepped up to defend him, but before he could even finish talking, a loud crash came from somewhere nearby. Everyone ran over to check, and inside, they found a girl lying there. She was clutching something in her hand.
She's the last one ever.
Because that's how everyone here had arrived, dropped in the same way, and every single person who came through lost all their memories, left with nothing but fear and confusion as they tried to figure out where they were. But the transport had always opened once a month. Thomas had only been there for 3 days when it opened again. While everyone was still trying to process what was happening, the girl suddenly opened her eyes and called out Thomas's name, then passed out again. It was pretty clear. Whatever was going on had something to do with Thomas. After that, Thomas went back into the maze with a group. They found the remains of the creature they had killed and pulled out a strange mechanical piece from its body. The number 7 was printed clearly on it. Nobody knew what it meant. Back at camp, Minho brought Thomas straight to one of the wooden huts. He pulled back a tarp on the table and revealed a detailed miniature map of the entire maze. Minho and the others had spent 3 full years running every corner of that maze to build it. They never found a way out, but Minho noticed the maze had 8 sections around the outside, each one holding a creature. Every night when the maze started shifting, one of those sections would open, releasing its creature to sweep through the corridors. The night they ran into trouble. trouble. Section 7 had been the one that opened, and the device they pulled off the creature might just be the key to opening that door again. Meanwhile, the girl woke up. She refused to let anyone near her. She would only talk to Thomas. Her name was Teresa. She handed Thomas the only two things she had brought with her, 2 small vials of medicine. Neither of them knew what they were for, but Thomas suddenly thought of Albie, who had been suffering ever since the creature bit him. Maybe this was the cure. He went straight to Albie and injected him without hesitating. The next day, Thomas and Minho headed deep into the maze again, searching for a way out. With Minho leading the way, they reached Section 7 pretty quickly. Then the metal device they had taken off the creature started making a strange sound. They followed the direction of the noise into a part of the maze they had never been before. The sound kept getting louder and louder until they reached the very end of the path, and then